All those 14 people, I just want to say hi to everyone, Naveen, Bernard, Somajit, and all those other people out there. I would just request you to have a pen and paper with you, because there's going to be a lot of things that is coming out from myself, and I want you to have every note of it, because you're going to come back to the video again. You need to go rewatch again and extract everything that I say. So that's what I would ask you to do, is to have a pen and paper in hand, and then probably we could go slow down with everything. We move forward with whatever we want. So I'll just share my screen. I made a presentation for the first time, though generally I don't prefer making presentations, but let's see how that goes. And let me just share the screen, just see if I can. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Let me know once if I'm visible with my screen. Okay. If I share my screen, I cannot see the chats. Let me see the other way down. Can you see the screen? Let me know in the chats. All clear. But then if I start speaking, I cannot see the chat. Is that okay with you? Like we can go around with the thing. Like the process can be like I can go around with the whole seminar thing, and then probably we could have the Q&A at the last. If that sounds well to you people, so we can because I cannot see myself when I share the screen. So we'll just go throughout the process of whatever I'm going to speak about, and then all the topic session, and then probably we could have the Q&A as the last, so you can write down all your queries and problems that you have in certain topics that you're going to speak about, and we can have we can conduct a Q&A at the last, and then probably we could get back to all the questions and the queries there. Sounds good? Let me know in the chat, yes, and then probably I could start off. Yes, okay. Naveen says okay, Brandon says okay. So let me just come back to the same screen, present, and can Sandesh, can you just text me in the WhatsApp once for the confirmation that my screen is visible and I can go forward, because I'm going to speak, and then probably if I miss something, then it's going to be. So just confirm me on WhatsApp. I'm sharing the screen. Yes. So like you can see the whole screen, Sandesh, right? And I can start off. You are visible and we can hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Just check. Yeah. Okay. So this is thing. We're going to talk about how we can build a sustainable YouTube channel. A lot of people have this question of how the person can build a channel to like the first 1,000 subscribers. That's the first question. The first question also comes in the mind of like, Aniket, 1,000 subscribers is a big milestone. Let me tell you how I can grow to 100 subscribers. There's a lot of questions that go on. Aniket, I know how to, I can make till 1,000 subscribers, but my watch time is not over. But I mean, the watch time is not completed, and I'm not into the YouTube partner policy. So there are ample amount of questions that's going to come into the minds of people when they are starting the YouTube channel. So today we're not just going to talk about how to build a channel which is like, grow your channel to 1,000 subscribers, but we'll also talk about how we can make a sustainable channel, and not just channel, and how we can, monetize it in the early stages too, so that we can make it sustainable and we can make it bulletproof, so that we can go forward with it for a long time. So that's the whole agenda of today's session. So the same thing as I mentioned, how to grow a platform. This is the same question that comes multiple times in my chats and my DMs. I've created a Facebook group. Again, people are asking the same question, Aniket, how to grow, Aniket, how to grow. In this session, we're going to debunk everything that is needed in order to grow a YouTube channel. I'm not going to make it complex, though it might look simple, but it is not that simple also. So you have to be very clear with the agenda that you have on YouTube, and then you have to be alert when I speak and write it down in the notes. Again, you will be getting the recording also, so you can come back, watch it again, and then extract it. So now in this session, what we'll learn is what is required to build a YouTube channel. We'll learn how to make it sustainable, because sustainability is a thing. You reach to a milestone. See, working hard and reaching to a milestone is easy. You reach to the top of the peak of the mountain, but sustaining to them, being there at the top, is the hardest part to do. So we'll talk about how you can make it a sustainable channel, and then again we'll talk about how to ensure success for a long-term game. Like YouTube is a long-term game. You have to be there on the platform for the long-term game, and YouTube is not just you coming up and talking, making videos and all those stuff, but YouTube is it's like a business, and you have to take it as a business, so that you can make the best out of it. So, what is the requirement to build a YouTube channel? Very simple. I'm not gonna explain you to that. I know. I hope all the audience in the audience section knows it. You need to create a Gmail ID. Just one information that I'm gonna give you, because the reason why I'm here is to just pinpoint small mistakes that you have been making in your day-to-day journey of as a YouTube creator, and where you are going wrong. So just a small mistake that people make is they create a personal channel. They make the Gmail ID and then they create a personal channel. What I would recommend you to do is to make a brand channel, because in brand channel you can give access to the people, the admins, the editors, or the VAs. Like, you hire someone in the beginning, it's okay, you're gonna make it yourself, you are the one man army and you're gonna do everything on your own. But as you begin to grow, as you have it in a full-fledged manner, you will require a VA to manage your channel, to schedule your videos and do all those things. But in personal account, the drawback is you can give the editor access, you can give the manager access, where the other person has almost all the accesses. But then again, there are few restrictions, like the person who has the highest access to the channel, which is the manager access, she can still cannot comment on your behalf on other YouTube channels. She can create playlist but cannot edit it or optimize it to the best of the SEO practices. And then there are a lot of drawbacks to the personal channel. So I would highly recommend you to, when you are creating a YouTube channel, try to make it a brand channel, so that you can give the direct admin access to the people and you don't have to share the Gmail ID. Because if you want to give the access, like the whole access of the channel, to the person or the VA or the someone you have hired from your team, you have to give the Gmail ID. And generally what people make their YouTube channels on from the main Gmail ID that they have for their business purpose also. So I would recommend you to make a separate Gmail when you're making a YouTube channel, plus make it from a brand account, not from a personal account. Like, you get an option after you make a Gmail account, then when you start to make your create a YouTube channel, you click on the option, you get an option personal or brand. Click on brand so that you can give the access in future when your channel starts to grow. Now, this was requirement from the creator's perspective. Let's talk about what YouTube wants you to do. So the goal of YouTube system, this is a screenshot. This is not something which I assume or people are talking about, but this is coming from YouTube help. You can go, this is the link that I've mentioned. Source, the source is, support.google YouTube answer, which is, you can find it on the support system of YouTube or the Google. So what does YouTube wants? The goal of the system is, YouTube recommended system has two significant goals. The two majorly goal that YouTube have is to help viewers find videos they want to watch, and then the maximum long-term viewer engagement and satisfaction. See, YouTube, the goal of YouTube is, see, the biggest myth that people is having is like, I'm going to create a YouTube channel and the audience will be come running back to my videos. No, that doesn't happen. What happens is, you create videos, then there is some kind of audience that rely to what kind of your audience have. Just imagine you have certain kind of XYZ kind of audience you are having. YouTube is not going to bring that XYZ, XY. The YouTube is not going to bring all those videos to the XYZ, but YouTube is you're gonna make videos, and then your videos would be promoted to all those XYZ kind of an audience. So videos are promoted. Videos are not sent to the audience, but audience are sent to, like, audience get the recommendation of the videos that you're going to make. So in other words, the goal is to find the right video of the right viewer at the right time. To accomplish the goal, we follow the audience. So whatever the audience wants to it, like this whole concept of the Facebook ads, the lookalike audience. So you target to a very specific kind of audience by creating a custom audience, and then there is a lookalike audience that might be similar to the custom audience that you have built. So how the YouTube recommendation section work is, they send the video. Okay, Aniket might be a person who is lookalike to the audience that Santesh is creating content on. So let's push the video to Aniket. So that's how the YouTube works. Like, that's how YouTube pushes the videos. And in the same manner, the second goal is to maximize the long-term view. Like, YouTube wants people to stay on the platform. So the basic formula how YouTube works, the algorithm works, is click-through rates, average view duration, and further engagement. Like, this is the formula. Like, a lot of creators, a lot of people, a lot of people and gurus all gonna talk about, okay, this is important, all those strategies, hacks, growth hacks, and all those tips. Let me tell you, the basic funda, the basic formula is just comes down to only three things. And as we go throughout this session, you will come to know that everything boils down to three things, which is click-through rates, average view duration, and further engagement. That's all. Click-through rates determines the click-through rates, like how much clicks that you have got on your thumbnail. Average view duration is the average view time a person stays, the viewer stays on your videos. And further engagement is that they are coming back. They are the returning viewers that come back to your channel. So that YouTube formula is, I want people to get click, I want people to watch, I want people to come back, and I want people to further engage. That's the YouTube formula. Write it down, take a screenshot or whatever suits well, because this is the only thing. Like, there is no other hack, there is no other formula, there is nothing that you need to do in order to grow a YouTube channel. I want people to click. Like I said, click through rates, thumbnail and title is the main thing that determines the click through rate factor. So I want people to click, I want people to watch. As I said, average view duration, you want people to stay. As we talked about, the YouTube goal is to make people stay on the platform as much as they can. So I want people to watch, I want people to come back. Once they watch the video, your objective as a content creator needs to be that you make such a content that people come back to the channel again and again, and then they further engage. So this is the YouTube formula. I want people to click, I want people to watch, I want people to come back, and then I want people to further engage. Now, the question is, Aniket, I get it. I got the formula. This is how things work. But how should I make it sustainable? I don't know. I'm creating videos. I then get bored. I start to do procrastination. I don't have monies with the equipment and all those things. All those questions will be solved in this section. Is like how you can make it sustainable, how you can make the YouTube channel sustainable. The first thing that comes into the picture is the ideas. Like, what niche should I make? Aniket, I don't know what content I need to make. What is the thing that I can target on? Aniket, I don't know what I'm clear with. I get it. You have to first figure it out what you're going to target to. It needs to be a niche. It needs to be sub niche, not niche directly, but a sub niche. Let's take an example. You think you're going to target to, just imagine there is a girl named Rosie. Rosie wants to target to people into the fitness industry. Fitness is a very big industry, and there are a lot of people already killing it with the huge amount of good content that they are making on the platform. You cannot target your particular keyword like fitness or weight loss and then up rank those people, those big shot that are already killing up on the YouTube space. But what you can do is to sub niche and narrow down on the keyword and then target it. See, there are two types of keywords. You are digital marketers, you know it yourself. Short tail and long tail. Short tail is the simple keyword like a weight loss, but a long tail keyword like weight loss tips for women or something like that. So what you need to do is to target the long tail keywords in order to get into the niche and start a channel. See, right now, the thing is, there's a lot of clutter in the market. There's a lot of creators that have come up after the pandemic thing happened, and then up ranking on those sections is really hard. Up ranking in the first page of YouTube is very hard. But what you can do is, instead of trying to target everyone, if you're trying to target to everyone, you're trying to make content for everyone, then your content is for no one. Remember that. So you have to figure it out what type of audience and what specific audience that you're going to target to. And then you have to pick a niche related to what specifically you're going to target to. So let's suppose Rosie wants to create a fitness channel today. We're going to take an example and go forward with every step we talk about, because I'm going to talk about facts that's going to bounce back and you will feel, okay, this is something, but Aniket, I don't know, what should I do? So let's take it with an example so that it becomes very clear along the line that you understand why I'm saying specific things. So the example that I mentioned is Rosie. Rosie wants to create a fitness channel. So instead of targeting everyone in fitness industry, she is going to target to just women's. So Rosie is targeting just women's for specific. Now Rosie wants to target not just women's, but now she wants to target to a sub niche. Like, she wants to target to women's for weight loss tips. Now weight loss is a very high competitive search keyword in the Google Trends or wherever you're gonna search for. You'll see there is a high search competition, but there is a high search volume also that is people are searching for. Now Rosie can make a channel on just weight loss tips for women, but then again it is still a very high competitive search term where she will not be able to rank. But what Rosie needs to do is, Rosie needs to figure it out a better sub niche that she needs to target. So instead of just going to weight loss tips for women. Now Rosie needs to go for weight loss tips for women over 40, or weight loss tips for women staying at home. So there is a very specific kind of audience that she is not targeting to. She's not targeting every woman in India or every woman in the world. Now she's targeting just women who are either above 40 years of age or either staying at home. So we all know in India, at least, there are very majority of our women's, like our mothers and our sisters, there are very majority of the women's that they don't go to gym. In fact, my mother hasn't visited gym yet. So then she wants to do weight loss thing, but she doesn't want to go into the gym and all those things. But then if those videos can be specifically targeted to, like, kind of, my mother can be a targeted audience for Rosie to make videos for. So she is not now targeting to women's just for the weight loss. Now she is targeting to a very specific kind of audience that my mother relates to. My mother wants to have a weight loss, but she doesn't want to go to the gym. She don't go outing for all those things, so she stays at home. She's above 40 years of age. Now she wants to do weight loss because there is a lot of disease coming up, so she needs to be healthy in terms of weight and all those things. So now Rosie as a content creator needs to be sub niche to a certain point where she's targeted specific type of audience so that she can outrank all those people those are not doing that thing. So now instead of targeting to 1 lakh people, now Rosie is going to target to just 1,000 people. I'm just saying a number. The number is huge. Women's above 40 and staying at home, the numbers is huge, at least in India. I'm not talking about the world. Let's take an example just for India. The number is huge. So we are just taking a variable factor for that metric and taking a metrics as 1,000 women's staying at home from age group which is above 40. So instead of targeting to just women's for weight loss, now Rosie is going to target to weight loss tips for women over 40, slash, if you're not targeting to just women's for over 40 or staying at home. So in that manner, now your content strategy is going to build up. Instead of just targeting to the majorly like the big short keywords that you're going to do, you're going to target to a long tail keyword, and then that's how you're going to outrank all those people there. So the second factor that comes in order to build a sustainable channel is time. A lot of digital marketers and other agency owners and all those fields, like I assume all the audience right now is into the digital marketing space, either trying to build either internship mode or either working in an agency, MNC and all those things, or being self-employed like I am. So the time factor is a lot of an issue. I don't get time to record Aniket. I don't get time to make content and all those things. But being consistency is key. A good sweet spot to make videos every week is 2 videos a week at least. If you have a bandwidth, go forward. If you don't, remember, you can make 5 videos a week, and if you go blank the next week, YouTube algorithm is not going to be happy, because you have to create such a kind of viewer experience that you give that audience, like, see, audience is hungry. You have to feed that audience, and if you don't feed that audience going to run away. Audience going to skip your videos, because he will feel like, I made a content today and Aniket is not posting tomorrow, or maybe next week is not posting. For 1 month, Aniket has ghosted to the audience, and then audience will not come back next time they see a thumbnail. They'll be like, Aniket makes content once a while and then he runs back. So you have to figure it out a time zone, what you can do in order to make content for YouTube. There's a problem, like, I know I need to make content, but I don't have time. Let me solve that problem for you today. What you need to do is to fix a content day, fix a recording day, and fix an editing day. And editing and scheduling day both at the same time. What do you mean by a content day? Is that day you're gonna but just sit down and list out all the content ideas that you're gonna make content. It looks easy when you're starting out, like, oh, I have hundreds of content ideas that I'm gonna make content on. I know content ideas, but when you write it down on a pen and paper, you would realize, oh, this content might not work. Oh, this content doesn't resonate to the target audience that I'm trying to reach out to. This content is very overused and I might not get views. So there are a lot of filters that would come to picture once you start writing down on a pen and paper. So fix a day in a week, like today is Sunday, today is Monday, or today is Tuesday, whatever day you fix out. Today I'm going to make a content list. So you sit down, you take your time out, take 1 hour, 2 hour time, write it down, all the content ideas that you have. Write it down. Okay, this is what I'm going to make on. This is what I'm going to make on. This is the 30 days schedule for my YouTube channel. Second day, you sit down and you record it. Like, this is Sunday. Today, you don't have to go to your company. Today, you don't have to go to your agency. You don't have commitments to your clients if you're self-employed. On Sunday, you're gonna record all those videos. Monday, you have time, you edit few of them. Tuesday, you have some time, you edit. On Wednesday, you're gonna schedule it for the next week. So this week, when you are starting out or you got a breakthrough and you are not making videos, so this week your agenda would to make content in abundance so that you have a bandwidth to the next week where you make content too. So what you're gonna do is write content ideas on Saturday. Just imagine you write content ideas on Saturday, you record videos on Sunday, you edit half on Monday, half on Tuesday, you schedule it on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, what you're gonna do it, you're gonna schedule it one for the next week Tuesday and one for the next week's Wednesday, or maybe Friday. Just imagine Tuesday and Friday. Now you recorded 3 videos, you edited 3 videos, and you scheduled 2. The other third can go to the next week on Tuesday. Now you have a week time of period to do the same process again. And in this manner, you'll always be ahead, at least 1 week ahead in the content. So the next week, if you cannot make content, you still have some of the content which is lined up and which is scheduled, which you can go forward with. So that's how you can focus on time. So next time, don't give an explanation, or don't give your self talk like, Aniket, I don't have time. Aniket, I'm busy with my clients, I'm busy with the agency work. You have time, you just need to make time. On Sunday, record. See, once the content idea is clear, once you know the script is clear, once you know what you're going to make videos on, if you are an expert, if you are someone who has some knowledge about that particular field, it is not very hard to record 4 videos, 5 videos in a day. You're going to set for next 4 hours, you're going to record 5 minutes each video. Just imagine a 5 minute video just required. You want to take a lot of takes, you're going to edit that and all those stuff. But remember, a 5 minute video would hardly take 15 minutes to record. That's the maximum I assume a person needs to take to record a 5 minutes video. Recording 4 videos in one day is not a big deal, and I guess you all can. If you are an expert, if you know that field, if you know that subject very well, if you know that topic very well, it would not be a very tough job for you people to make content on. So make a recording day 1, make a content ideas day 1, edit the videos. If you cannot edit all the videos in once, edit it in 2 days, schedule for the third day, and then schedule it for the next week. Don't schedule it in the that itself week, but do it for the next week so that you have some bandwidth to do that job again for the next week, for the next week, and so on. So that's how to do it. And being consistent is very key for content, because again, YouTube is going to punish you if you are not feeding your audience. So instead of making 5 content at once, do it 2 content one week, 2 content another week, and 2 content another week. So be consistent, but be every time, show up every day. Like, you every week your 2 video needs to go there. It's not need to be like 5 videos in a week and then you go blank the next week. The third factor that is required in order to grow channel is money. I get it. Money is a very taboo subject, topic that we, at least Indians, we feel like, we don't talk much about money, but money is required. A lot of people are going to criticize you. Hey, Rachit, you started your YouTube channel. Now you are focusing just on money. Bro, you need money. You need money to sustain. You need money to sustain your YouTube channel. It cannot be like now you're gonna do everything on your. You're gonna find the content ideas, you're gonna edit your videos, you're gonna make your thumbnail, you're gonna schedule and everything. But as your channel tends to grow and as you get busy with your agency life or the work that you're doing, it is very hard for you to do everything on your own. You will require people to do the editing, you will require people to do the scheduling, you will require people to do the thumbnail and all the design work. So you need money. So what you need to do, money is not just in terms of editing and all those things. That is hiring part, which is the third point that I've mentioned. Equipments is also needed. Once you start a channel, you start it from the mobile. Everyone starts from mobile. You keep a mobile, you buy a small Boya M1 mic, that collar mic that we generally use by a lot of YouTubers. You make that and you start your YouTube channel. Second thing, now you are into your YouTube channel, you are halfway there, you have made content for the next 6 months. Now you feel a sense of, I should upgrade my equipment. So you need money to upgrade those equipment. Then improve skill set. These kinds of webinars that are conducted, or the offline seminars that are conducted on video marketing, on YouTube strategies and all those stuff, you need money to go to all those platforms. And that is the reason why you should monetize your channel in all terms, in not just YouTube partner policy, the Google AdSense that pays you, but in terms of affiliates. in terms of brand sponsors, in terms of selling your own products. So these all four can be a monetization policy for you. You can sell your own product, consultation services, or whatever you want to do. You can sell an affiliate from any affiliate. Either you go do an Amazon associate, or you go to do ClickBanks and all those stuff. You can get the affiliate link and you can sell those products. Or brand sponsor, you get a deal from Nivea, you got a deal from Mama Earth, and all those big creators that they generally do in the wellness and wealth fashion niche and all people. And then AdSense is always there. You have to be very clear that AdSense cannot be your only source, because a lot of YouTubers, after going to a certain age, they tend to be poor in terms of revenue, because the views starts to go down. They are not any more relevant to the audience. There are a lot of good bidding creators that have come in the market, and all those old creators that could not sustain their channel is because of the content that they make. So you have to make yourself understand that YouTube is not just the AdSense money. In AdSense money in India, we are getting in cents. We are not even getting in dollars. I'm just giving you an example. A lot of people are earning a lot of money, but then I'm speaking from a perspective like you are not being paid by the AdSense in a very, very large amount. So you have to find out monetization policies outside YouTube and not just inside YouTube to sustain a channel. Now, understanding the formula, how YouTube works. See, there are basic principles that you need to put a good title, you need to put thumbnails, and all those things needs to be go there. And I hope things are going. Yeah. So, and then the question is, why don't I rank? Aniket, I make the good title, I make good thumbnails, I make good content, but then Aniket, I don't rank. I'll come back to that question too. And then how recommendation section works. Recommendation section is one of the key factor that gets you views, that gets you traffic in the initial stage, though it works with the later part of the journey as well. But then it is very key and very crucial in the beginning while you grow your YouTube channel. So let's understand the basics of YouTube. Basics of YouTube is following right practices. See, I'm not gonna go detail in that. You know it. So what are the following right practices? Filling up the details section, filling up the title, filling up the description, filling up the tags and all those things. Uploading quality content. Uploading quality content doesn't mean the content value needs to be quality. The production quality needs to be very high. You have to, if you are exporting it from Premiere Pro, if a person in the audience knows how the export works, you need to go and do the format which have a high bitrate format, which has an H.264 is the preset that I generally use for my client videos. So you have to have good quality videos that goes on a YouTube channel, because there are ample amount of substitute to your content. Remember that there are a lot of substitute to what you do on YouTube. So you have to stand out in terms of anything you can. You have to do best you can. I'm not going to say that you're going to go and buy a DSLR when you're starting out a YouTube channel. I don't recommend that. But then even if you are exporting the video from mobile, remember once you edit all those videos, see all those preset and see all those export settings that needs to go in place, where you get the best out of from the YouTube videos that you export from the editor you are using, maybe Premiere, maybe Final Cut Pro, or whatever software that you're using, Filmora or anything. Being consistent, as I mentioned again, being consistent is very important. If you don't be consistent, YouTube's gonna ghost your content and people is not gonna watch your content. Why don't you rank? Because you don't have an expertise, because you are not relevant, you're not trustworthy, and then engagement goes low. The reason you don't rank on YouTube is, see, you have to understand how the search works. And the reason you don't understand is, again, I mentioned, reason is the niche important. See, what happens is when you start out and you make a YouTube channel, what you do is you go out. Like, let's take an example about, let's say, digital marketing, as we all are digital marketers here, majority of us in the audience, and me myself as a digital marketer. If let's suppose Aniket is a new creator. Aniket wants to create a YouTube channel. He's a digital marketer. He has done a course and all those things. Now he knows about a lot of things. He knows about ads. He knows about funnel. He knows about PPC. He knows about how Google ads are run. He knows about something about social media marketing, like how LinkedIn works and how you can use SalesNav, and a lot of things. He knows a lot of things. Now the question is, I know you know a lot of things, but you have to figure it out, one thing that you are best at. that you can speak, like if you go on a stage, you can speak for the next 3 hours without getting a pause. Like if you get me on a stage for the next 3 hours, I can speak about YouTube and I will not get a pause. I will not rethink on what I'm going to say about. I don't have to prepare myself to what, yeah, I'm going to say about, because I have that expertise. I know things about YouTube, how YouTube works and how things works inside the YouTube and algorithm and all those stuff. So you have to figure it out, one niche that you're going to target to. Like let's come back to the same thing. Rosie wants to create a YouTube channel for fitness, so she needs to be very targeted to what she's trying to target. And then you have to be niche down to a content. Like your content needs to have a brand message. If I click on your YouTube channel, I need to be clear what content you're making. A digital marketer, what generally I've seen in the digital marketing niches, all those creators who are doing digital marketing and they are learning about things. Digital marketing is like a medical field. You have to understand it. The main major, the thing that I have seen in the industry is they find a digital marketing, a lot of people who are not very aware of the industry, is that they think like digital marketing is just a niche. It's not a niche, it's a sector. It's like a medical field, it's a field. You have to be very specific to what you are expertise at. Either you are very good at ads, either you are good at designing funnel, making sales funnels, either you are good at managing social media, or you are good at YouTube, or all other fields that you are doing at SEO or blog writing and all those things. So you have to figure it out, one thing that you want to target to, and in same manner you have to have some expertise on that. So what you're going to do is, you when you are starting out a YouTube channel, don't make videos on ads, don't make videos on how to rank on Google, how to write content, how to how YouTube works and how ads works and all those stuff. Be very specific to one thing. Algorithm is like a newborn baby. You have to understand, he, like the algorithm, I don't know, he algorithm is a he or a she, but let's suppose it is like a newborn baby. So you have to feed it. In the beginning we don't feed. You have to be very specific to what we are going to feed that in the beginning to the algorithm, so that he doesn't get, again he, it doesn't get confused about what you have expertise on, what relevance you have on the content, and how much the trustworthy that you are making in terms of the engagement issue that you have on video. So what you need to do is make one, find a one umbrella keyword and then double down on that. You're going to talk about ads. Next 30 videos, you have just started a channel from scratch. You know a lot of things, but you're going to expertise on one particular keyword, which is ads. Now next at least 15 to 30 videos would be just about ads. How to set up a business manager, how to run a Facebook ads, what are the problems, how the CBO works, what are the different types of ads that you can run, how you can change tweaks and all those things. Like everything needs to about Facebook ads. You have to show the algorithm, you have to feed the algorithm that you have an expertise on that. So you have to show that Aniket has expertise on ads. The algorithm doesn't know who Aniket is. So next time, if you show that expertise, if you show that relevance to what you make content on, and if you show that trustworthy in terms of engagement, like you start to get engagement on those videos, like likes, shares, subscribe, you are getting subscribed, a lot of people are clicking on that videos, you're getting a lot of impression because the viewer duration is high on that video. Algorithm gets a notification that Aniket is an expert on Facebook ads. So the next time what happens is, next time once you upload a video, algorithm will have a lookalike audience, like I mentioned in the beginning, would have certain kind of lookalike audience, same as what people are watching my content. And now algorithm will push my video to those kind of people living in New York. Just imagine there is a very lookalike kind of audience, like the audience that is watching me here in India. Now my videos would be pushed to New York, where there is a lookalike audience to what my viewers are watching right now. And then YouTube will see if that is performing well there, and then they push it. And that's how the YouTube works, the algorithm works. So you have to have certain kind of expertise in one niche. So you have to be very specific to what you're targeting. If you talk about ads, just talk about ads. You're gonna not talk about YouTube, you're gonna not talk about how social media works and all those things. Be very specific, have trustworthy in terms of audience, be very relevant. If you're making one video, be doubling down on that. And then YouTube algorithm will get the information that you are someone whom this has, Aniket has an expertise, and then they can start doing. But then Aniket, I am making videos on ads. I have made 15 videos on ads. I have used all those great titles, I've used all those great thumbnails, but still I cannot rank on search. So the formula for search is what is the watch time per impression you get. Impression is how many times your thumbnails has been seen by the people. Like you are scrolling down and a thumbnail pops up into your screen and you watch it. That's a one impression that you get. And how many what is the watch time duration per impression that you get is how it determines the search and not the search. Like making videos for search is a myth with condition applied. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. See, you copy exact same title, you copy exact same description, you copy exact same video tags that has been used in YouTube, and you upload it with a good quality content with enormous value, but you will still not outrank. The reason is, see, YouTube works for search, but it doesn't all like it doesn't only work for search. It works for the browse feature. So the majority traffic, if you see in your analytics section, would come from the browse feature, and that is a green signal that you need to understand. So what happens is, like just imagine Aniket. I'm new to the field. I have no interest in watching a video on ads. Santesh makes and videos on ads, just say, and YouTube thinks like I can be a good fit to watch a video on ads. I have not come on YouTube to watch a video on ads. I just came on YouTube to just surf around and pass my time. I get a video on my, like I get that thumbnail on my browse feature on YouTube when I am scrolling down. Now, this is not because of the search result. This is because of the browse feature of YouTube that works. YouTube thought to me as a lookalike audience that is similar to what audience that Santesh has on his YouTube channel when he make videos on ads. So what needs to be done is you have to make a compelling thumbnail and title for people to click on it. So it not that time the factor would not be the title. Like you can insert all those big keywords and all those good titles and make a thumbnail by the making the copy with the title with the keyword that is related to rank, and but you still don't get it. But that moment when the thumbnail comes in my browse feature, that moment only the compelling thumbnail and the title will help me to click. Let's take an example now. You make a thumbnail on Gary, you make a thumbnail on ad, you make a thumbnail on personal branding, just similar. So the first word that comes in my mind when I talk about personal branding is Gary Vee. Gary Vee has a very good brand when he talks about personal branding and all those stuff. So personal branding simplified, like you mentioned it on your copy, and then title goes like how I make personal branding, like how I make $1,000 a month with personal branding. That video pops up into my feed. Now I'm not interested in personal branding. I have no idea who Gary Vee is. But when I see that you are there, then another figure is there. I see the title saying how I can make $1,000 a month with personal branding, with a stat that you have shown in your screenshot, you have shown in your thumbnail that shows that you have been credited by those amounts every month, something like that, a screenshot of an Instamojo or something. Now that will be a compelling for me to click on it, because now I have no interest, but I'm a college student. I want some extra bucks. Who doesn't want to get an extra $1,000 in their bank account as a college student? Who doesn't want it? Everyone wants to earn 70,000 rupees in Indian money. It's a huge amount. So you have to understand that search is also working. Search, like I mentioned, making videos for search is a myth, but condition is applied. You have to put the keywords in order to get into the search rank system. But with that, you have to figure it out. The title needs to be compelling. The thumbnail needs to be compelling. So next time when YouTube pushes your videos to an audience which is lookalike to your audience, which is not your audience, the person clicks on your thumbnail and watches your content for the long. And the more they do it, like I mentioned, the watch time per impression. I'm not your audience. I got your video. That's one impression count. I watch your video at least for 50-55%. That gives an information to the YouTube algorithm that, like Aniket, I can target to more. I'm going to talk about all this audience and all the thumbnail part, how you can increase the click-through rates as we move forward. So that's how basically how search works. Now, how does recommended section work? See, it determines on view duration, how long that video has been made. Then it depends on how, like this, making videos in a series is a way you can increase your recommended section. So it depends totally on the view duration. Recommendation, how it works is you see a video on your up next section. When you're watching a video, you see a videos on your up next section, and then you have in your right corner all those recommended section videos, or either when you watch on your videos, you have to scroll down and then you get in the mobile section. How does that work is you have to have some similar kind of title than that of your competitor. Like suppose if you are making a video on Instagram marketing, uh, best ways to grow on Instagram in 2021. Let's suppose that that is your content that you're making. You're trying to make content or you have made a video. What you need to do is to try to copy, not exactly copy, but take inspiration from that of your competitors and try to make it very similar to the title what your competitors are making. What happens is once people are searching for those particular type of keywords and people are clicking on the thumbnail of the people of your competitors who has a lot of search volume, YouTube gets an information with that similar kind of title. This can be also a video that viewer would want to watch. So if you have a very similar kind of title to that than that of your competitor, YouTube gets an information that this video also has a similar title with that which people are clicking on. So people might be interested on also watching this type of content. So writing very similar title to that than that of your audience will help you to get into the recommendation section. What happens is when you are starting on, when you make a video, let's suppose you have this 500 subscriber, you make a video on how to grow on Instagram in 2021. You're not going to get more than 1,000 views if your videos is very really good. So in order to boost up your videos organically, you have to just get to into the recommendation section of the YouTube. Until unless you are into the recommendation section of the YouTube, you're not going to get views, because that's organic way. That's the only way you can get, because you have only 500 people as your audience, and not all people in your audience are going to watch your video. The only way to get views in the beginning is to get into the recommended section, as I mentioned. So to do that, you have to copy the title in very much similar conditions, so that if a person is clicking on that particular title and that particular thumbnail, YouTube gets an information that this can be a video which your audience might like. Now, the second strategy to make that happen, that was the first strategy, which is, making title similar to that. The second thing is view duration. If your videos have been watched a lot longer than the normal average, like if a person watched to a competitor who has about 1 million subscribers, and the audience is watching their video, and then YouTube suggests your video in the up next section, like the up next section that you see in the right hand corner. Then once they click on your thumbnail, because of the title that you have mentioned, which is very similar to that thing, the longer they watch, the view duration they watch will help you to understand that, okay, this is a video that I need to suggest for the video that your competitor is making. So view duration is also a very big major factor. Second thing is making series of videos. Remember, every time you make a content, you don't make one content, you make series of content. So if you are into, just suppose if you, let's take an example, you are into the barber niche, like hair cutting and all those stuff. So instead of making videos on how to do facial and how to do all those, I'm really bad at fairness and all those fashion things. So if you make a video on, just suppose, let's say waxing, so the videos needs to be in a series, like how to do waxing for body or leg and all those stuff. Like it needs to be a very long series. If you make a videos on Instagram marketing for business, so it needs to have a series. So Instagram marketing for business, the first video is about how you can use stories for Instagram business, how you can use maybe hashtags for targeting right kind of an audience. What are the ad strategy for Instagram that you can use to in order to grow an Instagram for your business account. So there are ample amount of content that you need to make in a series of a video, so that people are hooked. This is the part one, this is a part two, this is a part three. Now, while making this strategy, while making a videos in series, the strategy that you need to implement is the interlinking strategy. Now, this is a strategy that has worked for me, for my clients, and this is a strategy that a lot of people are not utilizing right now. So write it down. It is mentioning the video that you want to send to the people. Like what happens is, if a person is watching your video, they might not get your videos in the recommendation section of your video. What happens is, they are watching your video on Instagram, the recommendation section shows videos of other creators that they might want to watch as an audience. So what you need to do is, if you need to, in order to put your videos in the up next section of your up next section of your recommendation section, so that your audience who is watching your content stays on your content. What you need to do is apply interlinking strategy. How that happens is, you're going to put a iCard on your video which directs to the same video that you want to put into your up next section. Your end screen needs to have the same video that you want on the up next section, because that is determined by YouTube. It is not determined by you. You cannot put a video on the up next section. It happens in the recommendation section, so it's not in your hand. But how you can hack that thing is by putting it on your I section. So if anyone clicks on that I section and goes to that video, YouTube doesn't know that you have put it on your I section. Like YouTube knows it, but it doesn't know it, like why people are going on that platform or on that particular video. So YouTube gets an information that after people are watching this content, the people are clicking and going on that video. So that is one signal that YouTube is getting. Second signal that you need to give YouTube is to put it on the end screen. Person watches the whole video. Now you put just one video. You have your subscribe. You don't put two videos or a playlist and a video. You put just one video and nothing else. So now you are directing people to one video that you're gonna target to, which you want into the up next section. YouTube gets a second signal that after 50% people clicked and watched that video. After the video ends, people clicked and watched that targeted video that you're going to target to. Then mention it in your description section. Watch next, and then you mention the link. If people goes into the description section and if they click on that link, it's going to redirect to the same video that they're going to watch, where you want to target to. YouTube gets a third signal that you are sending videos after people are watching this video, people are going on that particular video. Now put it as a pinned comment. Then again, if person scrolls down and people have generally curiosity to click on the links that is mentioned in the pinned comment. I have seen a stats, I have experimented on my clients. More than description, people click on pinned comment. So never forget to mention a link or a CTA in the pinned comment so that you get the most conversion out of YouTube. Now you get a fourth signal from YouTube. In YouTube that okay, people are going on that video. So next time a new viewer watches your video on that particular thing, if you're making on a hashtag or something, YouTube would automatically recommend that video as up next. So now what happens is, a person watches your video for the whole, like it watches for the 10 minutes if your video is for 10 minutes. Now instead of hopping out and going to a new channel or some other channels which is popping up in the recommended section, your video is popping up into the up next, which is the next video that our audience needs to watch, because you have targeted a lot of people to that video. So algorithm understands that okay, people are jumping to this video, let's put that video into the up next section. So what happens is, once they jump out to the up next section, now you have an average view duration of 100% from this video, and then you have people staying on your channel on your next video, and if they like that video, they will hop up to the next video. And in the same loop, what happens is, now the same thing you need to do on that up next video. So what happens now, the up next video is the main video. Now you have to target a very specific video in your description, in your iCard, in your end screen, and in your pin comment to a video that you want to target to the up next section. And this is the loop how you can keep the audience on your channel. And the more people stay on your channel, the more people watch your videos, the more YouTube is going to push your videos to more and more people, and you get more impression. And if your thumbnail and if your content is good, if you're getting a good average view duration, your channel is going to boost up. So this is a very small hack people are not utilizing. So understand this one thing. Don't just put any video into the up next section. Follow a pattern, follow a series pattern. That's why I said make a series. So if a person watches how to do stories for Instagram, the recommended section video needs to be, the up next section video needs to be how to make cover highlights for these stories. It resembles to all those videos. Like you make videos on stories, so the next thing I want to know is how to make that cover art for the story highlight. That is a requirement for me. So you make the next video on how to make a cover highlight on story. So that's how you have to hook up the audience on your channel. Like you want people to binge watch your channel, like people watch binge Netflix. So in the same manner, and that's how the recommendation section work. And that's how in the initial phase, you can hook the audience majorly on your channel and grow your channel. And this works for all channels, all size channels, not just for when you're starting out, but once you reach to a certain point. So we come back to the same thing. We want to get we want viewers to get click. We want people to watch, and we want people to come back in a sense, they watch your video, they go back to your channel again to some other video. They watch your video, they go back some of the other way to again your video, they go back and back. They watch your video, the longer they watch, it's better. And then you want people to click. The first process is click. See, that you have good content, but if person is not clicking, you're not getting people to see what you're making. So the first thing is, want people to get click, people to watch, and then people to come back. Now you have to find your agenda. What agenda that you have on YouTube? Do you want to get sales? You are on YouTube either for business or just want to get the fame or sales, like you want to get the views and subscribers. So you have to be very clear what your agenda is on YouTube. Very clear. Once you have the agenda, see what happens is, if you're not clear with the agenda, what happens is you want to make money on YouTube and you are not making a very specific kind of videos that will be a good conversion for your videos. You're not making sales. You're making videos that will not convert much. That is for just for entertainment purpose. I'm not saying supposedly only just for entertainment purpose, but those videos are not the right videos that would have you get good conversions. So in order to be very clear with your content strategy, first you need to be clear with your agenda, what your agenda you have. If you want to get views, subscribers, make clickbaity videos, not directly clickbaity videos, but then videos that get more views, like how to make $1,000 a month, like how to make 1,000 rupees in a day or something like that. All those shitty videos that you see on video, those kind of channels have a lot of millions and millions of subscribers and a lot of views. If you want to be on one of them, you can do. I'm saying it is not wrong, but again, you have to be very clear with your agenda. If you want to have conversion, if you want to make YouTube as a sales funnel, like it needs to be something like you get organic leads on autopilot, then you have to be clear. You have to have a content strategy, which I will speak about later part in the session. But then you have to be clear with your agenda, what agenda you have. Once you clear with your agenda, then you can make the content strategy in order to boost up the YouTube growth in terms of revenue or in terms of fame or whatever agenda that you have on YouTube channel. So the most it's something like it's 50% of YouTube game. It's 50% of YouTube game. Though I mentioned that 60% of YouTube game is thumbnail and title, the click-through rates. But then this is if you take it as an overall YouTube channel, this is the 50% of game is knowing your audience. How do you know your audience? Because what happens is, let's take an example of digital marketing niche. Okay. We'll come back to whatever is written there, but we'll read to that. But let's take an example first. Let's come back to this slide. So you are a digital marketer. You make content for digital marketing. You have to be very specific with whom you are targeting to. Let's come back to the same example as I mentioned. Santej creates and videos. He's a creator who makes videos on ads, Facebook ads. Facebook ads for people who want to learn Facebook ads. Okay. So the agenda, he has to be very clear with his agenda. Now, Santej has an agenda that I don't want videos to get more views, but I want to get less views and get good conversion. I want to make money on YouTube. That's the whole agenda of YouTube, and that's not bad. That's the thing. Like YouTube is a business. So Santej has a very clear agenda. I want to make money on YouTube. Okay, one agenda is clear. Second, now Santej has to know his audience. It cannot be everyone. Facebook ads is also a very vast topic. It cannot be everyone. You have to be very specific with what you are targeting. As Santej has a digital marketing institute, he's a founder. He wants to target to the college student. He wants to target to the people who want to learn, who want to acquire a good skill, who wants to get into a side hustle thing by their 9 to 5, or want to learn a new skill, or want to build up an agency, or want to do anything which is related to digital marketing. So the audience group, the demographics that he's going to target to would be generally the college students, the age group of 20, 25, at least 30, 32, like that. That would be the age group that he's going to target to, and not to people who are in the age group of 40. Let's take an example. There are two types of audience Santej is going to target to. If he's a creator, let's suppose he doesn't have an agency, he doesn't have an institute. Now he has to be clear with his agenda, what he's going to target to. Either he's going to target to people who want to learn Facebook ads. So what can be the services that can he sell in his YouTube channel would be consultation calls, coaching programs, how to run ads, courses, or maybe other things that he want to target to. So now his targeted audience would be on Facebook ads, would be specifically to the college students or the demographics age group of those people into that area. If he wants to get targeted audience to people who have a business, if he is an agency owner, if he is not into the institute part, if he is not into the like the coaching, like he's the founder of Kallada Academy. So if he is into not into the coaching and courses and all those part, he's targeting just for the agency owners to sell his services as a Facebook media buyer. Now his target audience would not be those people in the college age, like the 2025, but now his target audience would be people age group above 35, 40, 50, and that age group, where a business owner or an agency owner or whatever that person is running a business, has a product and wants to scale. And Sanjay, as a media buyer, wants to target to that specific kind of audience. So that specific kind of people watch Sanjay's videos, and then they get conversions for their agency services, what Sanjay is making. So Sanjay has to be very clear with what content he's going to make for his YouTube channel. He runs an academy, so now his target audience would not be those kinds of big people running their business 40, 45 age. His audience would be just targeted to specific kind of demographics. In the same way, he has to be very clear with the language of videos that he uses. If he is targeting to students, it can be, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and all those stuff, you can do it. But if he's targeting to just business people, elite people, or people who are very professional, he cannot just go on wearing a t-shirt and then make videos on. He has to come in a suit and tie and then be very professional. Hey, are you a business owner? And then the tone, the modality, and how he's gonna speak on the videos would be changed. The language that he uses. Okay, in terms of not just Hindi, English, Kannada, or whatever language person is using, that's another option. But then the language, the tone, and the modality he uses while he speaks. So style and pacing of video edits. Video edits would not be funky. Like, just suppose if you are making videos for gaming industry, people who are interested in watching those PUBGs and Valorant and all those games. So the videos needs to be very funky. Like, there is something coming up here, a screenshot putting up, or maybe a meme coming up here and there. But once you're targeting to people from the business industry, you cannot edit the same videos in that manner. It needs to be very professional. It needs to be very clear with the agenda of the video. And there doesn't need to be funky thing, memes or coming up here and there that distracts the audience, and that gives the other person an indication that you are not very serious. You are like a normal content creator, and that person doesn't take you seriously. So editing also matters when you are trying to target what kind of an audience you're trying to hold up to. Now, how do you find it out? You find it out where they hang out online. See, finding the targeted audience is really difficult. In the beginning, it's like you just throw a stick to the wall and you presume it to be like, that stick might stick to the wall. Let me be precise to what I'm saying. In the beginning, what happens is you don't know the audience. You don't know, Aniket, I don't know whom I'm going to target to. I know, like, I have a blurry expectation of who I'm going to target to, but I'm not very much clear. So what happens is, generally what creators do is they throw a stick to the wall and then they pray that the stick might stick to the wall. So they think, okay, the stick might stick, the video might work. I uploaded this video might work. But instead of doing that, you need to be very specific and take some smart decisions. I know finding an audience is a tough job. I know you need to have ample amount of data on your YouTube channel to figure it out who your really audience is and whom you're gonna make videos and what should be your next step in the content strategy. But before even that, you have to find out, you have to take some smart guesses instead of going and being that newbie and being in the herd of throwing stick in the wall and trying that stick to stick while praying for it. Take some smart decisions. If you're trying to target to those all college students, see where all those college students hang out. Go to Discord. Discord is a very hyped up channel right now where a lot of college age students are hanging out. Go to that, talk to people, go to Facebook groups. See where what kind of people they are talking to, what kind of audiences they are reacting to, what kind of things that they are reacting to. Hangout places, like where they are hanging out, what they are doing on Instagram, to know the mentality, to know what are the pain points, to know which is the barrier that is coming in front of them, and what problems that you can solve as a creator in terms of your video that you make. So you have to go out, see where they hang out online, go to the Discord, go to Reddit, go to the subreddit section and see what people are talking about that particular niche. Let's suppose you make videos on sales. Go to subreddit, type it out in the search section, sales, and see what people are talking about in the sales. Now remote sales is a very hyped up thing. People, like after the pandemic, you don't go face to face for to sell a product. Now it's like all online, on Zoom, on phone. Click on Reddit, go to subreddit remote sales, see what people are talking about. Go to Facebook's group, type it down, remote sales. See, there are a lot of remote sales group. Go into that remote sales group and see what type of questions people are asking. In there you will get the ideas of what content to make also, which I'll come back to again. And then you will come to know what pain points and what your targeted audience needs to be there. That's how you figure it out, your audience, what to promote as an affiliate. Now once you know what your target audience is, now you know what you can promote. If you are you know your target audience, college students whom you're going to target to about Facebook ads. Now you can affiliate products like maybe anything like just I just came to know about a tool which is Scalify. I'm not sure. It's a SaaS product which helps you to optimize your Facebook ads. So now you can become an affiliate for a SaaS product which helps you optimize the ads in a better way. And that type of affiliate products now you can target to, and not just anything. You cannot be an affiliate to anything, because the audience that would be coming to your channel has that product needs to solve, or help the audience in some or the better way, or make their life easier in some or the other way. Then only those affiliate would get conversions. If you're selling an cream to an audience of an Facebook ads, they're not going to watch. So your affiliate will be also very centric to what you're going to sell to. Things that they care about the most. What are the things that they care about? What is the thing? Like the money factor. In youth, at least me 2 years back, money was a very motivating factor when I joined the industry. Like I'm into the industry for the last 3 years. So in the initial phase, when I saw Gary, like Gary Vee was the first person that I came to know about the digital industry, and I saw the name and the fame. Like he travels from jet, he's going here and there, doing public speaking gigs and all those things. And then that was a motivating factor for me. Like, oh no, if I get into the industry, if I start working and I build up my empire, then this is something which can be the most thing. So that is something which you can sell in not fakely, but in terms of content. Like I'll come back to that also again in the content ideas, how you can specifically target all those content buckets in order to make the content. So I hope it is clear with how you're going to find the audience. It's the majorly part. Once you know whom you're going to sell, once you know what kind of content that you make, see the confluence of two circles. I hope in maths we all read in class 10 the chapter sets, where we talked about the Venn diagram, the confluence of two circles, and the between part was the major part. Like we were trying. I'm really bad at maths. If I forget, bear with me. So the confluence of two circles would be one, what your channel stands for, and the second, what your audience cares for. What your channel stands for is Facebook ads for Sunday. What audience cares for is videos, how to optimize Facebook ads for e-commerce. Just suppose that is an audience that audience cares for. So the confluence of both the circles would be the content that you're going to make. What your channel stands for, your channel stands for Facebook ads. What audience cares for? Audience cares for how to run Facebook ads for e-commerce or DTC or anyone, whatever the target audience is you are targeting to. And that content would be the between all those two circles, the confluence of two circles would be your content. And that's how you target. Like you understand what language that they spoke, what type of tonality that they use, where they hang out, what are their online and offline behaviors, what type of they are looking towards, what are the pain points they're looking towards. Now when you write it down everything, like you write it down the demographics, where they belong to metro cities or they belong to small towns, what age group they belong to, what are the online behaviors that they react to, where the places they hang out. If you go out into the detail, write it down on a pen and paper. That's the reason in the beginning I said take a pen and paper and write it down everything. Once you write it down, once you formulate and iterate it in a pen and paper and write it down one by one, you get a very clear understanding of what things are working and what things are not working, and then you can experiment in a much better way and in a much effective way. Let's get back to ensuring success. Now you know how channel is made, what are the things you need to sustain a channel. Now let's suppose how things work, how you can make a successful YouTube channel. The first thing is you need to understand about the video sales funnel. This is the key thing that I majorly help people with, is the video sales funnel. How you can create a video sales funnel for your YouTube channel, how you can create an autopilot for your YouTube channel. How do you do that? The first thing is bringing in views. You know about the IDA formula: awareness, interest, desire, action. In the same manner, it works in the same manner. So the first, if you see this, the first funnel, the first part, which is bringing in views. So your agenda, if your agenda on YouTube is to make money, generally all the digital marketers present in the audience would have the same agenda. Your agenda is to sell your services, your agenda is to get more clients and all those things. So now the first thing what you need to do in the beginning, which the for top of the funnel, which is bringing in views. Now what you need to do is to make content that will bring your views. So you have to be very specific. Let's come back to the same example. Instead of making videos on weight loss tips for women, Rosie needs to make videos on weight loss tips for women staying at home, long tail keyword. Once you make that long tail keyword, the discovery becomes easy. People who will be searching how to do weight loss at home, like generally that's what people search on YouTube. Think from a perspective from the audience. Don't think from the perspective of creator. If you think from the perspective of creator, you will never grow. Think it as an audience. What would people search on YouTube? My mother has literally searched. This is an example which is I'm giving you on a live example. My mother has literally searched on YouTube weight loss tips for women staying at home. Not exactly the same word by word, but again, that was the same topic that she searched for herself. She's overweight now. She wants to do weight loss, but she cannot go to the gym. She don't want to. So she's exactly searching the same thing: home remedies for weight loss tips, or how to do weight loss at home. These are the search term that she is searching for. And these are people very specifically targeted to. All those big influencers, all those big shots are not making videos on the long tail keyword. They are making videos on short tail, just weight loss. So what you need to do is make that long tail keyword that will bring in the views. That will bring in, just a second. That will bring in the views for that particular thing. For the long tail keyword, that will bring in the views, that will bring in the cold audience. Understand, that will be the cold audience, that will not be your fans. You have to understand the journey from cold audience to fans to super fans. Super fans are the people who are gonna buy your product, who are gonna be like, hey Aniket, you are great. That's a super fan. Fans would be like, Aniket is good, he is doing great. Cold audience would be, I don't know who Aniket is, but he has made a good content that has helped me in some or the other way. So in the beginning, what happens is the cold audience is coming up, bringing in the views, bringing in the traffic on your channel. Nobody knows your channel, but you are targeting now specifically to a specific kind of audience who are weight loss tips for women over 40 or who are staying at home. Those kind of content are bringing in views. Now, the middle of the funnel needs to be agenda with videos. You have to find out an agenda with every video that you make. See, it's not like today I feel like making on video on this, let's make a video on this. Today I feel like making on video on this, let's make a video. No, it doesn't work like that. If you are really trying to grow on channel, and if you're really trying to monetize it like in a long way and make a sustainable channel, 1 month before you have to plan it out, write it down. Again, I'm saying again, write it down. Is sorry, is every video that you post on YouTube has to have some agenda. Some videos on your channel will be there to bring in the views, to make trending topic content. Any trend is going in the market, you make videos on that. Anything happens, any update happens in an app, you make videos on that. Any Instagram update comes, if you're a social media marketer who's working, who's making content on social media platforms, any update comes, you pick up all the trending topics, you pick up all those long tail keywords which will bring in the cold audience to your channel. That will be your top of the funnel. That is the agenda. Like in a month, if you make 10 videos, so now out of 10 videos, 7 videos, I'm saying 4 or 5 videos would be just to bring in the traffic. That's clear. Now the bottom of the funnel would be the agenda with the videos, as I mentioned, would be videos that will help you to get the sales. The videos that you are making on bringing in the views would not be very specifically to targeting people to sell the product, but that will be just to make people come on your channel and watch your content. Once they come on your channel, once they watch your content, now the second agenda of the video would be like, you need to make 2 to 3 videos in a month, which will be specifically targeted to your services. How are you going to do it? Instead of just making like, hi, I'm a digital marketer, I do this, would you buy my services? Not like that. Don't do that. Make a video while solving a problem. Just suppose you run ads for Shopify owners, like the people who have a drop shipping store, or the Shopify people and all those things. You run Facebook ads. Now you're going to make videos on targeting how you can tweak your ad setting and ad set, or here and there with the ad business manager, and how you can make good revenue from your Shopify or your dropshipping store. In that video you will be very specifically solving one single problem, not everything. Not, you don't talk about anything in generalized. You will be targeting very one specific problem in an ad problem, in an ad set or whatever. I'm not very good with ads, so I'm not very specific with the terms that I can use, but you're going to solve a one single problem. And then in the between the video, when you have the audience attention in your, you can see also say, if you see this is the problem you are going to make, and you are half the way, like you are into one or 2 minutes in the video, certainly you can put a CTL like, uh, something like, let me think, something like, hey, also one thing I forgot to mention, that I'm also offering a consultation call for people who want their ads manager to get these kinds of tweaks, and if they are stuck in scaling their dropshipping store, you can just book a link from my description, and then you go back to the video again. You talk about the strategy, or you talk about the specific problem that you're targeting to. And the specific problem that you are targeting to, you have to figure it out from the YouTube search, what people are majorly searching. What is the one problem that a lot of people are facing? You have to target those kinds of content ideas, and then pitch your service in between the videos by putting certainly as a CTA, not like, you are talking about it and either you mention about your services in the beginning of the video or at the end of the video. Don't do that. When you have the attention, like you are 1 minute in the video, you have all the attention of your audience, like you have right now for me. Now I'm like, hey, if you want to book a consultation call from your Facebook ads, if you want to scale up your dropshipping show, you can find the link in the description and book a call, and we can see you what we can do for your channel, or what you can do for your ad setting, or dropshipping show, or whatever you are going to do. Then you can go back. Okay, so the next strategy is to this. That's how you can certainly insert all those calls, CTAs, and that's how you can get the majority conversions. Trying to specifically target it to all those keywords that has a high search volume and a very major problem people are facing in your niche. But you don't have to target those kinds of people in the videos that are bringing in views. You have to bring your people to your home, make videos that boost up their morale with the value that you provide, solve a specific problem, and try to sell in between all those videos. And then at last, once they are your super fans, from cold audience they become your fans by consuming your content again and again. As I mentioned, returning viewers are your fans, and then once they start to consume it for a long time, they become your super fan. And then there is a high conversion rate, like you get initially a high conversion rate where you get a lot of people buying or purchasing your services. So you have to understand, you have to make videos which will bring in views. Then you have to make videos that will be specifically for sales. Then you can make videos which will have sponsorship or ads or something big. Because if you make a video, just imagine, let's take a scenario, you made a video with an sponsored, it's a sponsored video that you make, a campaign that you ran for maybe any product that you are using. Just imagine that video got viral. So you are taking away the possibilities of selling your own course. If you are selling a course, and if you are doing a sponsored video for some other product, you are taking a possibility of selling your own course in that particular campaign video that you are doing for the brand sponsor. I know brand sponsors pay you a lot. Just suppose if your brand sponsors pay you 50,000 rupees for one video, that video got viral. Now what happens is, you just got 50,000 rupees for that particular video, and that video got viral. Just imagine if you have a 10,000 rupees course and that video got viral, and if you have got, like I talk about just 1% conversion, if that video got about 100k views, 1% conversion is almost like 10,000, something like close to that. I'm really bad at maths, bear with me. Just imagine, let's suppose not 1,000, let's suppose 100 people bought your course in 1 lakh views, or let's suppose 500, maybe 50 people bought your course. 50 into 10,000. You see how the math goes. So you just got a brand sponsor deal, and that paid you 50,000 rupees, and you took away the opportunity of selling your own course in that video, which might get viral. So I'm not saying that you should not take brand sponsor deal, but you should be clear with the agenda of what videos you're going to make throughout the month, and how you're going to make it better in terms of monetization. These videos will be specifically to bring in views. These videos will be specifically that I'll sell my own services in order to solving a specific problem. These videos will be specifically to the sponsors that I will be taking up. So in that manner, you can bring out the most out of the sales funnel that you have as a YouTube, as a business. Now, what's the content strategy? I should have changed the slide, but that's the same thing I said. If the content strategy is, you have to be very specific to what you are trying to target. Again, in the beginning, Aniket, I don't know what content to make. I'm stuck. I made 2 videos, but now I don't know what make. What you can do is you have to find out the pain points of the audience. You know your audience. You know what niche you are at. Find out the uh, pain points and the dreams that the audience has. Let's suppose if I wanted to make a content, what I would do is to make content on the pain point is how to grow a YouTube channel. So I'll make a content on how to grow a YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers, or what kind of thumbnails you can use to get a high click-through rates, or maybe how to optimize your video to get a very good audience retention. So those would be a pain points and dreams that an audience has. Take that as a content bucket and make double down on those content topics. Then there are some certain kinds of barriers that you can target to. So these are the content buckets: pain and dreams. Barriers can be a content tools that you use, and a lot of things can be other than as you go out in the journey. Like pains and barriers, as I said, I don't know what content to make. So how to grow? I don't know how to grow my YouTube channel. Like let's suppose if I am a content creator, so I'll make a content on how to grow a YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers, how to grow a channel to 100 subscribers. What are the best ways to make good thumbnail, or average video duration, how to increase the CTR and all those stuff. Those are the pain points and the dreams and aspirations that I have as an audience. So I'll be targeting to that content bucket. Second content bucket can be, as I said, barriers that are coming. Like I don't know how to record a video, how to record a good video. What could be the frame? Like this frame needs to be there. You need to follow a rule of third. What could be other barriers? Like I don't know what camera should I use, what mobile phone should I use, what mic should I use. Those can be the tools, or those can be the instruments, equipments that you can make videos on. This mic, this is the cheapest mic that you can use to create a YouTube videos. This is the camera, this is the mobile phone that you can use. How to do a good lighting setup. These can be the pains, fears, and all those stuff that audience is faking. Understand that FAQ question that you initially faced as an creator. Like when I started out a journey, I didn't know what mic to use. I didn't know what lighting should I use. I didn't know what camera should I use. So what all the FAQ questions that I was getting in the initial phase would be your content bucket. One thing. Second thing, go back to the groups. Like I mentioned in the early stage, go back to the groups, search for people that you are targeting to. What I would do if I want to make create, I'll go on YouTube, search for YouTube marketing, search for YouTube groups, search for YouTube, all those keywords related to YouTube. That will help me to understand what people are asking in the groups, what problems they are asking in the groups. Hey, I don't know what thumbnails to make. Hey, I don't know how to create this thumbnail. Hey, I don't know how to do this. All those questions that will come up in the groups would be my content ideas. You can create your own community, ask people to join your group, and ask people to ask questions. And the questions that are being asked in the group can be your content ideas. That's the second thing. Same thing you can go do on the subreddit section, as I mentioned. There you find out the audience, there you get the content ideas as well. One more thing that I generally recommend to a lot of people is to do a competitor analysis. Find out like the 10 people you want to target to, 5 people from the top-notch industry from your same niche, and 5 people who are mid-level, like who have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscribers. Go to their comment section, see what type of content they are making, see what type of thumbnails they are making, see what is working for them. Go to the comment section, because they will not go and watch the comment section. They are not going to reply to all those comments that is coming on their channel, because there are thousands and thousands of comments. But you, as a small creator, you can go and read the comments. Read the comments and see. There would be people asking, hey Josh, you make a video on this, but I have a problem on XYZ. I have a problem on XYZ. XYZ would be your content idea. Go to the comment section of all those competitors. Have 10 people in your list. 5 top-notch industry leaders who have millions, lakhs and lakhs of subscribers, and 5 people from the mid-level, 10,000, 20,000, who are your immediate future, whom you want to reach in the near future. Go to the comment section, see what problems they are solving, what problems people are asking in the comment section, and see what contents they are making. That can be also your content ideas that you can make. Find out the loopholes. There might be creators who are in the same industry who are near to you, like you have 1,000 subscribers, they have 10,000 subscribers. They are getting views, you are not getting views. Understand the loophole that person is not making. He is talking about generalized thing. You go deep down into a certain kind of thing. He misses a point, you make a video on that point. He misses that update, you make a update on that video. You are updating that video faster than him. He's publishing one video a week, you publish 3 videos a week. All those loopholes can be accumulated in order to boost up your growth in terms of your competitors. Take inspiration from that, take inspiration from the comment section, groups, subreddits, create your own group, and then you can find out. If you don't get, then your pains and barriers, your aspiration, dreams and ambitions, what are the pains that a creator face, what are the pains audience is facing in terms of your niche, and then you can make content on that. Now, how to work for the discovery. The first one of the 2 metrics that you need to in order to grow a YouTube channel is the click-through rates. First, the same thing, I come back to the same thing. I want people to click. So the 2 major thing that comes into the picture for the click-through rates is the thumbnail and the title. Why should one click on your thumbnail? As I mentioned, it is not completely based on search. There's a lot of factors like, if it comes in the browse feature, how well it can be compelling. I've already mentioned about the thumbnail and title. I'll not go again about it. But remember, you have to have at least 2 to 3 copy, like 2 to 3 words copy. Don't make it chaotic on your thumbnail, like you put out huge amount of text and all those things. Try to see people connect with people. So try to put your picture on the thumbnail at one side. Let's suppose you put your picture on the right side. On the left side, you have your text. Text needs to be 2 to 3 words as a copy, like personal branding simplified, as I mentioned. Personal branding simplified. You simplified a problem for me. So personal branding simplified as a copy on your thumbnail. Putting Gary Vee for more reference, so that I have a familiarity factor in my unconscious mind. See, it doesn't happen everything. It doesn't happen directly. In my unconscious mind, if I am a person who wants to learn about personal branding, I'm trying to grow my personal branding, but I am not trying to, like, I'm having a very trouble in trying to build a personal brand. But then let's suppose Thomas makes a content on personal branding and he makes a video on personal branding, how to grow a personal brand. But instead of generalizing it like what is personal branding and how to make a personal branding, he makes a title something like how Gary Vee makes millions of dollars with personal branding. And he has a Gary Vee image, he has his image, and then a copy like personal branding simplified. Me, who is a targeted audience who wants to grow a personal brand on social media, that would be compelling for me in terms of the videos that is having just like how to do personal branding with nothing, like no image or something like a very vague type of how to grow personal branding in 2021 or something like that. See, those keyword needs to be there in the title, no doubt, but then it needs to be compelling. How to make compelling, like instead of think about it, just think about it. How to grow a personal brand in 2021 at one title 1. Second title, how I make $1,000 a month with personal branding, or maybe something like how Gary Vee makes millions of dollars with personal branding. Think about it. Title 1 would work or title 2 would work. That's the simple example that you need to understand why one should click. Your thumbnail needs to be compelling. It needs to have some familiarity factor. I connect with it. Okay, he's making content on personal branding. Gary Vee is in the image. I know Gary Vee for personal branding, and he has simplified that formula for me in terms of personal branding simplified. I had this complex problem I was not able to solve. This thumbnail is something which will solve my problem. And that's how you click on that thumbnail. That's how you figure it out why one should click. In the beginning, if you don't know, send out your thumbnails to people in your friends group or who can be your target audience. Send out and ask them for reviews. Again, it's all about A/B testing. The more you test with the thumbnail and title, the better you get with time. The second, two of the 2 metrics, like I mentioned, 2 metrics is the major important, click-through rates and average view duration. So the second metrics is average view duration, which is optimizing the videos in terms of presentation and production. So that's the 2P formula in order to grow your YouTube channel in terms of the audience retention part, which is the audience satisfaction. So let's come back to the production part. Production is the editing. What type of editing you make? What type of, a meme comes up, a text comes up, a screenshot comes up, something in the beginning. Your first 1 minute is your biggest asset, and the first 15 seconds is the biggest asset. If you can convince people to stay on the platform for the next 15 seconds, you have convinced them to watch the video for 1 minute. And if you can convince the people to watch your videos to 1 minute, there is a higher chances that your videos would be watched throughout, or maybe at least till half a way there. So the metrics that you need to follow in order to grow in terms of audience retention is you need to have, write it down somewhere, 75% of the audience needs to watch at least 50% of the content. Let me repeat. 75% of the audience has to watch at least 50% of your content. So if your video is 10 minutes long, if you have 100 people as an audience, 70 people needs to watch at least 5 minutes of your content for YouTube to understand that this video is good to promote. And in order to have that kind of an audience retention, you have to have a good production quality in terms of editing. I know in the beginning it's really hard to have an hire an editor and invest money and all those things, but you can still make it presentable. You can still have a very plain background. If you don't have a good, just have a plain background, nothing is disturbing in the background. uh, Adding some text here and there when you talk about certain topics, adding pattern interrupts in terms of screenshots comes up for the proof, or a text comes up, or you slide it down with a transition and all those things. So production is also very important in terms of content creation. Then presentation, user experience is key. Why I'm saying this is because how well you present. Like, the reason why I'm here speaking to you is like I'm good at presenting. No, I'm not good at presenting. I'm good at YouTube marketing. But then again, how well you present in terms of the content that you make. Are you boring them? You don't have good skills with you storytelling. You are not doing good. See, the storytelling arc needs to be very clear. I'm not sure. I cannot see the chat, but I would love to do it after in the Q&A. But there might be some good fans of Avenger movies. Let's connect the storytelling act with Avenger movie. I like to take examples because that's how you understand it well. That's how things gets very clear. See, let's take an Avenger movie. Let's talk about the storytelling arc formula that you can get inspired from the Avenger movie and apply it on your content strategy on YouTube. What you need to do is Avenger movie. Like, if we break the Avenger movies, what it comes down to, the storytelling arc is the hook is there in the beginning. This is the way. Like, in the hook, you're going to say, in this video we're going to talk about how you can make $1,000 a month in Instagram. Stay tuned in the video till the very end, because I'm going to talk about a lot of bonus tips and all those stuff. And then you hook up the audience in the beginning. So it starts from hook in the beginning, then you re-engage after a minute or so. So after a minute, you go on saying, like, you have come through this far in the video. Like, it's been 2 minutes in the video. So it's been 2 minutes in the video, and if you are here, I know that you are serious about knowing this factor, and it's really good that you are here. Stay tuned till the very end, because I have a bonus tip at the very end, something like this, to hook up the audience to stay in the video. Then you do the setup. The climax is coming up, but you do the setup for the climax. So hook starts, hook is there, then there is re-engagement, that you re-engage with the people after a minute or so, because you have to keep the audience on the video. Then you set up for the climax. You talk about, these are the strategies that will help you to build up a great YouTube channel. These are the strategies that will help you to expand your e-commerce store, all those things. You set up for the climax, then the golden nuggets, that this is it. You get the climax in the Avengers movie. This is it. This is the golden nugget. This is the formula. This is the strategy. This is the hack that will help you to grow. You have your climax going on. Then don't forget, Avengers, all those Marvel movies have a post-credit scenes. So people, even if you have the credit scenes coming up in the screen, even if people don't leave the seats. So what you need to do is to have something for the last. Like, you are half the way there. At 5 minutes, your video is 10 minutes long. At 5 minutes, you have the climax. Tell them that there is a bonus tip for you if you wait till the very end. So at 7 minutes, you do again a re-engagement. So people are at least watching your content till 75% of the content. So you have again after the climax, as people would leave after the climax, because you have talked about all these strategies, you will see, like, these are the 5 strategies, but then I have a bonus tip at the very end, so stay. So you talk about the 5 strategy, then you have a bonus tip where you re-engage at 7 minute time, and then you do the conclusion at the end. So that's how you have to follow the storytelling arc. Like the same example of Avengers movie, you have the post credit scene. So you have to hook up the audience as in that manner, that audience are waited till the very end, till your conclusion, so that you get a higher audience retention, and that's how it will help you to grow. Also, use all the YouTube feature. There's a lot of debates going on that, you should use the video tags or not. Is it helping in ranking or not? What type of description you should do? Have a proper normal template. In the first few lines you mentioned in this video, you talk about all those keywords and all those. Make it humanly. Don't put all those keywords here and there's all those hashtags here and then it looks like unprofessional. Let it clean, let it be presentable, let it be professional. Mention in the first few lines about that description. Then you have all your links for your services, affiliates, and all those things. then some details about what you do as a creator. I am YouTube growth strategies, Aniket is doing this, and then 3 hashtags, just 3 hashtags, because only 3 hashtags is shown above the title if you go on check on YouTube. So 3 hashtags would be very specifically to what your content. You are making videos on ads and then you mention a hashtag on digital marketing. That's not going to help. Ads should be also about the content that you make. It needs to be about just Facebook ads. So 3 hashtags in your description section, and then again come back to the video tag section. You mention all the video tags. You can install vidIQ or TubeBuddy, both are really good. Extract the tags from the audience also. If you install the vidIQ plugin from Chrome extension, you get to see the tags also from the competitors. You can pick few from there, few you can analyze and see and check, and then put it in the tag section. Use all the YouTube features. Make playlist so that audience gets easier to go out and watch your content, and be very specific if they want to learn about this particular thing, so that it's very specific and they don't need to scroll down throughout your channel and waste their time, or they might skip it. So use all the features, use playlist, do all those features and make it, because features are there. If PC, there was a debate why is tag working or not. If it was not working, YouTube has already removed it. So it is working. It is doing everything. Like, it gives all the context to the algorithm. In the beginning, algorithm doesn't know what your video is all about. So all those tags, everything that you see on YouTube, every text that you put up inside the video, the visually, now the SEO is not about the tags and the keywords. It's more about what you say inside the video. So try to say the keywords in the beginning of the videos also, and try to make the first 50 so amazing that people stay at least till the 50%. And the text that pops up inside the video, in the video editing section, all those texts are also being analyzed by YouTube. So that too also helping in terms of SEO part. So it's more of visually appealing, what text is appealing in the videos and what you say in the video, then that tags and the keywords and the meta tags you use in the description section and all those things. But again, all those things are also important to use that. So if content is king, as I mentioned, you need to make good content. Feedback is queen. I always mention about this, because you have to take constant feedback from the audience in order to improve. As a creator, you would think, oh, I created this video, this is really amazing, this is really good and all those stuff, but then you would not know where you are going wrong, where you are making it boring. So take feedback from the audience. That's the reason why community building is very essential. You build a community, make a Facebook group, make a Telegram of your YouTube subscribers, send people to there, interact with the people, get feedback and improve. Then this is the thing that I say to everyone. There's no right strategy, there is no wrong strategy. There is a strategy that works for you. So understand whatever I said is the basic principle of how YouTube works. There might be people who say, okay, you have to follow this strategy to grow your YouTube channel. That might have worked for their channel, that might not work for your channel. So you have to post out content, you have to do the A/B testing and see what data you are getting into the analytics section, see what is working for you, and then double down on that. So don't go with any strategy, what I am saying or what a coach or consultant is saying. See what is working for you, that, and do and double down on that. So that's it. Q&A. I hope just come back to the same thing. Thank you so much, and I hope it was good. Let me just grab a sip of water, and then probably I can get back to the Q&A.